Hey, Steve Magnante here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts for the 1970 Chevelle SS 396. But in 1970, the 396 was actually a 402, but GM didn't change the badging to say 402, so the 396 had a lot of cachet, so they kept it there. So it's actually a 402 under the hood. That's fine. Speaking of the hood, the standard SS equipment included the domed hood right here, the blacked out grille, and other details here. Another thing too that was new for 1970 was the radio antenna embossed into the windshield. It kind of hides in plain sight, some very thin wires. Instead of the mast, 1970 was the first year for the in-windshield radio antenna right there, kind of in plain sight. Let's pop the hood. And of course, 1970, also the optional, the styled steel wheels, the 5-spokers. They're 14 inches at this point in time. 15s would arrive in 1971 as an option, but here we have the standard, very beautiful styled steel 5-spoke wheels on the front, and disc brakes, of course, standard fare on the SS package. And let's pop that hood and see what we find underneath. And there it is. Now the air cleaner might say 396, but we know better. It's actually a 402. That's okay. And again, it's very, very stock. It has the original exhaust manifolds in place. The low-rise cast iron intake. This is the L34 with 350 horsepower, small Holley 4-barrel carburetor, actually a Rochester 4-barrel, I should say, and all of it very pure and original. It's not an AC car, but we know it's definitely an actual SS 396 factory car because it was built in Canada. And the thing of it is, 1972 would be the first year that the SS would have its own VIN for the engine, but with that said, we know better because the door jamb in here, we'll get to that in a second, does say built in Canada. And of course, in Canada, you can actually send away now for things like build sheets, because they kept records on that stuff. So it's absolutely a real one. It's a numbers matching car too, by the way. So that's the original 350 horse, 402/396, call it what you will. The original motor in this car ever since it was built in 1970 in Canada. We'll get to that in a moment. And it's a kind of a weird car too, because most people think that Chevelles have to have sport stripes on the hood. We actually paid extra for the D88 sport stripes. They were $58. Now, if you didn't want to alert the police that you had a super sport, well, the sport stripes, with the deleting them, would get you by a little bit versus the white stripes on the hood and the tail on the trunk lid. So inside, another weird thing about this car, most people say that super sports had bucket seats, right? Well, not so fast. They were optional, as was the center console. This has a bench and a column shifted turbo 400 transmission, the automatic, so kind of a weird one. It's not a bucket seat car, not a console, and again, the shifter, the automatic shifter is up on the steering column. You know, again, we don't see the stripes on the tail or the hood. Again, you would have paid $58 extra for the D88 stripe package on the front and back, so this one's been deleted, or actually was not ordered. And but one thing you did get on the Super Sport is the rubber bumper, this little guard right here, which has the SS logo engraved inside. A nice detail, 1970, very specific to these cars. And of course, the chrome exhaust tips right there, factory stuff on the SS 396 package, also known as the Z15. That was the code for the SS 396, the Z15. So let's look inside the trunk and see how it looks in here. Yeah, nicely presented. The underside of the deck lid is painted blue to match the car, which is correct, and you know, and the Zolatone finishes on the horizontal and vertical surfaces. Nice trunk mat right here, factory stuff. And I'm told that the interior, the upholstery, and also the vinyl top are original to this car. It's a very low mile, 68,000 mile car with no rust. The panels on this car are all original, right from 1968. So it's a nicely presented restoration. And coming here, getting back to the Canadian thing, we open the driver's side door, we see something here that says General Motors, manufactured by General Motors of Canada, right there. So it's a Canadian built car. So what can be done, you can actually send away to get the records on this vehicle, where it was delivered, what the window sticker was looked at. You can get those things done with no problem because GM Canada did a great job of recording that kind of information, whereas GM Local, the Flint, Michigan factory, didn't go that far with recording that stuff, but GM Canada did, and that's proof that it's a Canadian car. Has a 12-volt rear axle, of course, 331s in the back probably, and a good highway gear, and a nice example of a restored low mile actually core, original sheet metal on this car. And to learn more about this car, go to the High-Octane Classics website.